New agents in the room? Couple?
Yep.
A few? Okay. So my name is Rodney Raines. I'm with United Healthcare, which is predominantly from a Medicare Advantage standpoint. Of course, the Care Improvement Plus product in South Carolina. So we are rolling out our new benefits for 2016. We're going to kind of do a quick version, probably for some of the new agents. There probably will have some better training on down the line for Care Improvement Plus in specific, but we will hit some general topics as we go through. It's kind of the bread and butter of United Healthcare and Care Improvement Plus, and then we'll also again roll out the 2016 benefits. So first and foremost, I want to thank everyone for the business. Y'all do a fantastic job, both from a writing standpoint and doing business with us, but also from a compliance standpoint. Can't say enough about that. Your team and your management team with the training and what have you, y'all really do a phenomenal job. Never come up on any of my compliance radars. So in addition for the sales, thank you for not being on those reports, because those are a lot of fun for me. Okay, so let's start just a quick happy 50th birthday to Medicare and Medicaid. 1965, introduced into law there. So quick tidbit. So for 2016, our message from as far as United Healthcare goes is strength, stability, and hassle-free. And this is something that we're going to talk about from an agent standpoint and something that we'll talk about from a member standpoint as well. Most everyone's probably heard of the mergers and acquisitions and all of that stuff that's going on with a lot of the competitors just recently announced, right? So I know a lot of you have been here, have been with Care Improvement Plus over the last 3 years, right? We started this process about 3 years ago, and most of you that have been along with us kind of certainly recognize the bumps along the road that we've had over the last 3 years. It's been 3 years since acquisition by United Healthcare, and we will just be nearly full circle integrated into the United Healthcare platform in 1/1 of 2016. So we all know the challenges and the bumps along the road that typically will mean. We're happy to have that behind us, whereas a lot of our competitors are just starting that road. So a lot to be said there for the strength and stability and hassle-free where we are now. So just a couple of facts when it comes to strength. United Healthcare serving nearly 1 in 5 Medicare beneficiaries. The largest Medicare Advantage carrier in the country, 3.2 million. Part D plans over 5.1 million. Medicare supplements, nearly 4 million clients with the Medicare supplement. Largest Medicare provider network, of course with the Care Improvement Plus product. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but not so much a network-based product. But we do have the largest network. So number 14 on the Fortune 500 list in 2015, 30 plus years of experience. Number 1 Medicare Advantage, we've already spoke about that. 5 years in a row, one of Fortune's most admired companies. And the AARP brand, only company to carry the AARP brand. I know there's a lot of varying political beliefs about AARP and what they do, but the fact of the matter is, when it comes to a Medicare standpoint, they are very much a watchdog, so to speak, and the fact that we're able to do business in a manner that will have them partner with us in the name is a fairly significant feat there. So South Carolina. Strength in South Carolina. We have 45% of the MA market share, predominantly Care Improvement Plus. We are still the largest carrier in South Carolina when it comes to Medicare Advantage, and a variety of choices: RPPO, LPPO, C-SNP, the chronic special needs plans, dual special needs plans. We do still have the HMO product available in Greenville County. Likely to see some more HMO products in some additional counties as we move forward in years to come, but for right now, still just the Greenville County. And of course, we offer the Medicare supplements in the Part D. Stability, highest rated healthcare company according to all major financial rankings. Didn't really realize what that meant until this past, we have our national sales meeting back in August, and one of our guest speakers was the CEO of US Bank. And when he put it in writing in front of us so that we could actually see what their recommendations were so far as strength and buy ratings and the differences between us and the competitors, I really wish I would have had some of that information to pass along, because it was really astounding how much stronger, how much more of a higher financial ranking that we had as a healthcare company than some of the competitors. So 0 market exits in South Carolina. We have all been, probably most have been affected, except for maybe some of the very new folks, but we've all seen some market exits in South Carolina, particularly with the Medicare products. Particularly last year, we had a fairly significant exit that caused some turmoil within the state. So this morning, I actually had our CEO of our regional CEO was with us in our group meeting this morning, and he was very adamant and made a point to talk about the Care Improvement Plus product, that it is here to stay, and that it is a very significant investment. We continue to invest financially into that product. So anything that you hear outside of this place, outside of what we talk about, I've heard folks talking about different plans maybe going away and Care Improvement Plus, it's just not true. We are investing significantly into all of our plans here. Don't expect to see any changes, significant changes in the years to come. Feel like we've got a very good foundation under our feet, and expect to see stability in the Care Improvement Plus product, stability in the market here in South Carolina. We're going to look, of course, at the benefits for 2016. You'll notice that there are some changes, but not a lot of significant changes. I think for the most part we'll actually be better off than we have been in years past. Formulary stability, 2016 is a year of stability when it comes to the formulary. Not a lot of changes, one significant change that we'll talk about, but for the most part, we're improving. Particularly the Part D side of our plan is seeing significant improvements across the board with all of our different products. So again, United Healthcare, we're looking to make Medicare hassle-free. Talk a little bit about Medicare Advantage and kind of where it stands. That's something else that we hear, we get questions about from time to time. So Medicare Advantage population has a 13-20% fewer readmissions to the hospital than Medicare fee-for-service. So we're talking about the quality of care, we're talking about care management and the things that not just United Healthcare does, but Medicare Advantage plans as a whole. You're seeing a lot more movement toward care management, and a lot of people trying to, quite honestly, do the things that Care Improvement has done for years in going that extra step and taking care of folks with transitions of care, people coming out of the hospital and getting them help as they need it to stay out of the hospital, making sure that they've got somebody to care for them and things of that nature. So, but Medicare Advantage as a whole, just wanted to point out a couple of things there that show strength from a Medicare Advantage standpoint, which gives us obviously strength for moving forward and hopefully not changing the system, so to speak. There are certainly certainly advantages here that we can easily point to. Medicare Advantage outperformed fee-for-service, so fee-for-service being original Medicare, and 9 out of 11 clinical quality measures. So again, we're delivering the quality of care that we need to, better quality of care than standard Medicare can do. Medicare Advantage are more likely to get screenings done, diabetes care, cholesterol testing, breast cancer, A lot of that has to do with house calls and some of the programs that we've put into place, which some new stuff that we'll talk about today, in addition to the benefits. I know a lot of you have heard this routine quite a few times, so we're going to have a new topic to talk about today. But the other part of hassle-free, again, with the agent, we want to make it easier to do business with us, and we are really improving on that this year. Certifications, anybody done their certifications? I know a lot of you have, most of you have. United Healthcare portion much easier than, much shorter than in years past, right? 35 to 40% reduced in the overall content. Of course, most of you probably do AHIP, so you may not have seen the true value of that, but very reduced certifications, short, sweet, and effective, easy to get to. Easy to get to, easy to get through. So, PhD, no more outsourcing. We tried that last year, and we heard the field, we heard the agents. It wasn't very good process. We had a lot of problems with communication and not being able to get answers to simple questions and not being able to understand, in some cases, the answers that we got. So outsourcing of the producer help desk is no longer. So from now on, you will receive a higher level of support, hiring higher skill level, and offering higher skill level training. So still have the one-stop shop. You'll be able to get the answers that you need from the help desk for Medicare Advantage, prescription drug plans, as well as Medicare supplements. I will tell you still, you got my phone number, Eddie's phone number. If you have questions specific to Care Improvement Plus operations, so to speak, like how does this work, or what is the benefit for that, or those type of questions that are general about Care Improvement Plus, still just reach out to us, myself or Eddie, and we'll make sure to get the correct answers for you. I think most of you know when it comes to direct member situations, we'll do the best we can to help you, but the three-way call with member services, continue to see great success with that. If we initiate that call, they're able to resolve most of our issues. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some things that will actually affect that going forward, a part of the new program that we have to improve the member experience. So a couple of things that we've changed that will also be helpful. Member status. Okay, all of our enrollments now will be on the agent portal, United Health Distribution. What is it? UnitedHealthProducers.com. I'm sorry, UnitedHealthProducers.com should have the status of our members, all of our enrollments as we submit them. We can go in and check, make sure they were received, and then also make sure that there's no hang-ups, no snags, anything that may pin the application, anything that may be missing or anything like that should be noted in there as soon as it's discovered. Chronic verification failure notice. Okay, so if someone does not get their chronic condition verified, now we will reach out and email the agent. As opposed to in years past, there was just a letter that went out to the members. We will reach out to the agents now prior to that member receiving the notice.
And when does that change going to take place?
That actually took place in August of this year. August of this year, so that's in effect right now. Okay. Notice of death to agents. So if you have a member that passes away, you'll also receive an email that simply says, such and such member has passed away. Please update your records accordingly. So, there's still a lot of things that we can do to become more agent friendly, but certainly we're hearing what you are saying in the field, and we're addressing those items. From a big corporation the size of United Healthcare, it takes some time to get some of these changes in place. The chronic verification was a big one. That was something that we really just started having problems with this year because of some CMS changes that we probably talked about just a couple of months ago. and how they changed the verification process, but you know, a quick adjustment to help us get through it. Extended hours of operation during the AEP. I'm not sure what those hours are yet. I think it's 8 to 8 Eastern time. But again, the big thing, moving to one platform. Care Improvement Plus and the UHC integration finally will be completed as of 1/1/2016. Lifetime renewals. Everybody know we have lifetime renewals now? Not just on new business, but any business that you have. Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plans. Any business that you have on the books, doesn't matter when you wrote it, if it's still on the books, it's renewals. AOR protection. This is another change for 2016. Still, I don't think we're not where we need to be just yet. But I will tell you again, we had our East Coast CEO in town this morning, and the agent of record conversation came up again, and it's very clear that he wants to take another look at what we're going to do. For this year, what we know for January 1st effectives, like-kind changes, you will maintain agent of record. You're going to see as we go through benefits, there's a significant difference between the LPPO product and the RPPO product in the Medicare Advantage plan, the standard plan. If someone changes Medicare Advantage to Medicare Advantage, so let's just say they go RPPO to LPPO, or vice versa, the agent of record is going to be maintained if it's done through telesales, okay? So telesales will not, you will not lose that agent of record if the call is done, if that is done through telesales. If another field agent goes out and does the move, then we wouldn't lose agent of record. And I'll tell you, y'all know Eddie and I how we feel about this. We're pushing for agent of record to stay no matter what happens within the CIP product. So again, we're still listening. We're still fighting that battle. And actually had some encouraging remarks today from Dennis O'Brien, who is again our regional CEO. So he heard the conversations that came up, and we are looking to make a difference there still. So Lean, the new electronic application system, I'm going to talk a little bit more detail about that at the end. So we'll leave that there for now. All right. So folks, I'm giving you the turbo version. I think you could probably tell I'm kind of speeding along here. We're going to try to cut this down as quickly as possible and still deliver all the pertinent information. If you have a question, or if you don't, if you have a question, just stop me, jump in, and let me know, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay. So getting into the 2016 benefits. First off, the South Carolina landscape, $931,000 as of August of 2015. 931,000 eligibles. Year over year, we had a growth of about 3.6%. Medicare Advantage penetration, fairly high at 21.5%. That's a pretty good MA penetration for South Carolina. But that also still leaves, what is that, 78.5% of folks that do not have a Medicare Advantage plan. United Healthcare market share, again, we are the top carrier in the state at 45.1% market share when it comes to Medicare Advantage. So real quick before we go into the actual products, I just wanted to look at the timeline. By September 30th, all of our members, current members, will have received their annual notice of change. We don't have any plan closures, so we don't have to worry about that in South Carolina. But September 30th, they'll have their annual notice of changes. Those have actually started to go out already. We cannot discuss 2016 plan benefits, so what we're going to talk about today, we cannot discuss until October 1st, unless one of your members, if one of your members contacts you and has received their ANOC already, which like I said, they've already started to go out, not sure when they'll be hitting the homes here in South Carolina, but if your member contacts you before October 1st, as a result of receiving an ANOC, you may go ahead and answer their questions and be in compliance. But October 1st is when we can actually talk about the plans. Obviously, October 15th is when we can start writing applications for 2016. AEP begins October 15th and ends December 7th. I know y'all write a lot of 2015 business during that time period. Of course, that's fantastic. When it comes to the SEPs and dual and SNP business, still write that. But the actual AEP business starts October 7th, or October 15th, right? Okay, so market highlights. Everything that makes CIP great is still here. Open access. No change in how the open access is handled for 2016. We all know the year-round selling opportunity. And I'll go back to the open access. There's been a lot of discussion of what may happen to CIP in the future, and in regards to the open access and the RPPO that we have available. I'm sure y'all know how special that is in regards to competition. It is truly one of our biggest selling features. So I would expect to see that going forward, but certainly no changes for 2016. Still have the RPPO available statewide in every county. And then we will have an LPPO this year, and we'll talk about the differences in between the two. One cool change, I said we had several good changes in the Part D plan. Part D part of the plan, 0 copays on tiers 1 and 2 when we use preferred 90-day mail order, okay, through OptumRx. 0 copays on tiers 1 and 2. And that's going to be on both the Gold and the Medicare Advantage plans. Okay? Dental options available on I think that's all the plans. I don't think we have any plans that do not offer dental.
Medicare, Medicaid?
Medicare, Medicaid, sure, the dual plans. The dual Advantage plan does have dental this year, and I'll talk about the specifics there. But another big change in the Part D is lower tiered deductibles and lower copays on those drugs as well. So here's an overview of the plans, and hopefully you can see it. I left them in the car. I do have handouts of these next few slides. Okay, so we'll go over them real quickly, but I will give you handouts when we're done on these next 3 slides that kind of have the little benefit grids. So talk about the far left. The first plan, the RPPO plan. This is the standard Medicare Advantage. So this is the plan that we would sell in Charleston, Berkeley, Dorchester County, where the LPPO is not available. This will be the only option. Okay. And this is kind of what it looks like. The biggest change there in red, premium from $29 to $39. Okay. Not a tremendous change there. The one thing that I was disappointed with our new plans is in the parentheses there, $25.10 for folks with 100% LIS. That is that's a significant change. For some reason, all of the plans, and I noticed this, I've heard commentary on this with other carriers. All of the carriers are putting more money into their Part C premiums. Obviously, there's a reason why. I don't fully understand it, but the Part D premium, which LIS helps cover, is going down significantly. More of it being put into Part C, so that's why we have the $25.10 100% LIS premium. Most everything else with the RPPO plan stayed the same. $30 copay for primary, $50 for specialist. Same on the inpatient hospital. Outpatient surgery, 20% still on the Medicare Advantage plans and the Gold plans.
Hey, Robin, can you talk a little bit about the outpatient surgery, 20%? Kind of how it's
About the numbers?
Yeah, a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, Scott and I have talked on multiple occasions over the past year. We've had some of our operations people, plan design people actually get together and ask us what, what we needed changed, what could we do better with, to be more competitive. And of course, one of the things that we always talked about was outpatient surgery. We got to do away with the 20%. In our minds, in my mind, in Scott's mind, and in a lot of your minds, I'm sure that is a very big sore spot there, so to speak. So we talked about it, and it was entertained of possibly doing away with it. But here's what we found after the operations folks did a thorough review of the actual claims history for outpatient surgery. 70% of our members, the first benchmark that they looked at was $450, a flat fee of $450 for outpatient surgery. 70% of our members' claims were less than $450. So if we made a copay of $450, 70% of our members would actually be paying more. Which that's kind of a high copay. They looked at it also at $250, which is kind of getting in line with maybe some of the competition. And at that benchmark, 60% of our members are actually paying less than $250 with their outpatient procedures. So those numbers kind of set me at ease a little bit more about the 20%. Certainly there are those out there that are paying more than $450. Obviously, 30% of our claims for last year would have been paying more. But it was kind of I was surprised at how big the number was that are actually paying less than that from an outpatient surgery standpoint. So
The 20%, is it what amount is it off of? It's not off 20% of the surgery cost. Is it off the Medicare approved amount?
it would be 20% off of the Medicare allowable charges, right?
Are they able to be balance billed or no?
Should not be balance billed. No, balance billing should not be happening. Okay, so the maximum out-of-pockets remained on the two CIP plans, $6,700. And then the copays, the RX prescription copays there, you'll see that they are improved over last year. Again, the biggest improvement being the zero copay on tiers 1 and 2 mail orders. So your maintenance drugs, tiers 1 and tiers 2, a lot of them you can still get those done at zero. Or you can now get those at zero copay. Other improvement, the prescription deductible, I believe it was $295 this year. Is that right? Down to $205 for 2016. Tiers 3, 4, and 5 drugs. So again, tiers 1 and 2 not included. So a little savings there, help make up the difference in the premium. Let's talk now about the LPPO, and I'll glance over here to the map real quick. This is the LPPO map, so all of the green counties are LPPO counties. So if you sell in those green counties, this product that we're going to talk about would be applicable to you. Got that pocket there right around Charleston that doesn't include it. Basically, not everything that touches water, the ocean does not have the LPPO available, but about everything inland does. You'll notice
a local PPO in Georgetown for 2015?
No. No, we do not have the local PPO in Georgetown. Of course, this year no one's selling it because it's not been a difference in product, but you'll notice 2016, a fairly significant difference in the LPPO. So the premium is going to be $49, $35.10 with 100% LIS. But look at the copays. There's the lowest copays CIP has ever had that I can recall. Primary $10, specialist doctor's visit $30. So $20 off, $20 difference between the RPPO and the LPPO. The inpatient is a little less for a little extended period. So if they were in there for actual 6 days, they may pay a little bit more in the inpatient. $295 per day for days 1 through 6. Same 20% outpatient. Same $6,700 out of pocket. And then the drug deductible is down to $100 on the LPPO product. So if you got somebody that goes to the doctor regularly, or anyone that takes a tier 3, 4, or 5 drug, the LPPO is gonna be the best fit for them. I don't think it's a big difference to where, you know, I don't think you need to worry necessarily about going out and moving people. I don't think there's that much of a product difference. But certainly you can see the advantages for someone that may go to the doctor once a month. They're gonna save quite a bit of money in the long run in the LPPO product. Do we have anyone that sells in Greenville County? Okay, Greenville County, the AARP Medicare Complete plan on the right there. That is the HMO plan available in Greenville County. And last year that wasn't such a competitive product. This year, I think it's going to be very competitive. I think some of the competitors added some premium to the Greenville market, even with their HMO products, and still some network questions with some of the others up there. So I think this will be a very competitive product. Still a zero premium on the HMO, $15 primary care copay, $50 specialist. And then you see the other $335. The other's no change from last year. I think the drug deductible is even the same as last year, $215. Okay, so again, I think we didn't change that product a whole lot, improved the primary copay a little bit, but I think again, the competition changes are going to make that product a lot more competitive. So we looked at the LPPO map. And you'll notice pretty well the counties that aren't in the LPPO are the counties where we have trouble with contracting. MUSC is, MUSC, we have no problem. MUSC accepts Care Improvement Plus, but we're not able to actually get a contract with them to be in network. Everyone knows the McLeod situation again. And with McLeod, there's a couple of doctors with the MUSC system that will not accept, but they're very few and far between. For the most part, they do. Don't have problems with MUSC facilities. Still with McLeod, same situation with the facilities. We're all good. Hospitals, we're all good. Doctors, they're case by case. I would say they're probably, I'd put a number of roughly 50-50 as to the ones that accept us and the ones that don't. We're still trying to get some contracts done there, but some of these facilities, some of these hospital systems, it's more about they just don't want to contract with Medicare Advantage companies. They want to stick with original Medicare simply because billing and processing of claims is faster and easier for them. There's no scrutiny. There's no due diligence to speak of with that. So that's why we have some resistance there. But again, when it comes to acceptance, all of the facilities in South Carolina, hospitals, all the hospitals accept Care Improvement Plus at this point in time. And just to reiterate, the LPPO, there's no difference in, it's still the same. If the doctor will accept us, if the doctor will bill us, it doesn't matter if it's LPPO or RPPO, the plan works the same. Some highlights to the Gold Plan. So the Gold Plan is going to a $19 premium this year, as opposed to $0 for 2015.
Wow.
Okay? Wow, that's your first instinct, right? I think as we look at some of the benefits, we're going to see where it's really going to be, I think for the most part, most of our members are actually going to end up to the good, believe it or not, because of the other changes. So $19, $7.10 with 100% LIS. But the primary care physician copay down to $15. Specialist copay is $45 instead of $50. Inpatient is still the same, $335 days 1 through 5. Outpatient 20%, $6,700 on the out-of-pocket. The RX copays, you see the copays there, $412, $27, 127%. But again, tiers 1 and tiers 2, 0 copay on the preferred mail order. So somebody that sees their doctor once a month and has maybe say 3 medications for diabetes or heart failure or heart conditions, what's that? That's $12 and $10 an office visit, so that's $22 difference right off the bat. So I think for a lot of people that we'll actually see some savings in the long run. Drug deductible is also down. What was it last year? $315, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's down to $260, $55 difference there. Okay, the big one, you see there, Tier 4 and Tier 5 only. Tier 3 is no longer in the deductible for the gold plan. Okay, so anybody that's taking insulin, right off the bat, they're $315 to the good. Okay, Tier 3, and that's not just the insulin, and I'm going to talk about some insulin changes as we go through, but Tier 3, insulin will be in the Tier 3 and no longer in the deductible. So that's a very significant improvement for all the diabetics out there that require insulin. But it's not just the insulin, it's any Tier 3 drug.
Do they have a special mail order discount?
The Tier 3, I don't know that Tier 3 is in the mail order. I assume that it is. Scott, do you know?
Oh, no,
I'm not sure. I'm not certain of that. Not certain of the difference. There could be. Some other improvements. Yeah, is there a question?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The existing clients with the gold plan, how do you make that transition from going from a zero premium to $19 a day?
Good question. Good question. Of course, you're always about 5 slides ahead, right? Okay, so we last year we had a fairly significant disruption with our premium, adding to premium. I see a lot of head shaking, yes, going from the $0 to the $29. So this year the process will be the same, and that the gold plan will be going to a $19. The default method of payment will be direct bill. Okay, so in December these folks are going to get the letters that say they're direct billing. The difference is going to be there's going to be a lot more emphasis in the ANOX, and there's going to be like 3 different letters